Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss Selling Tampa Season 1, Episode 2. Y'all, we have quite a lot to talk about. Sharelle and this commission split. Girl, are you serious? But let me not jump ahead. Let's just jump right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare. We start the episode off with all the ladies in the office, and Sharelle is going around the table letting them know that they did a nice job at the event. But she does call out Tennille because Tennille was the only one who didn't have a client at the party. So, child, Sharelle also calls out Miss Colony for her dress being too short. Now, like I said in the last recap, the girls on Selling Sunset are in the same tight, sexy dresses, so I don't see an issue for these ladies in Tampa. And I think that Colony looks great. She's a beautiful woman. And let's face it, looking good does not hurt. So now Anne-Sophie interjects and she's like, well, my client Peter just gave me a call and he wants to submit an offer. So they're like, oh, okay. And she says that he wants to submit $3 million. So Sharelle is looking like, excuse me, you mean $6 million under the asking price? You have got to be kidding me.
No.
So now Anne defends this lowball offer, saying that, well, she doesn't think that the house is worth $9 million. So Sharelle's like, Anne, absolutely not. Like, you need to tell your client to come correct. So Anne keeps saying that $3 million is better than nothing. And I said, Anne, let me stop you right here, because if you were in another brokerage, they would have laughed you out of the room. Don't sit up here and say, well, something's better than nothing. This is not that type of situation. All right? Your client obviously does not have the $9 million in the bank, because if he did, he would not be submitting $6 million under the offer. Do you walk into Chanel and say, how much is that purse? Oh, it's $10,000. Well, I only have $7,500. They would laugh you out the store like, excuse me, like the purse is $10,000. Either you have it or you don't. I was like, Anne, you sound real goofy right now. Like, just stop. And to be on national TV and to be a professional like you claim, girl, I have better sense than that. And I don't even know anything about real estate. Like, what are you talking about? So now Sharelle drops some major news that the commission split is going to be changed. She says that it used to be a 95-5 split, but now it's going to be an 80-20 split. So everybody's like, really? Now Miss Rena is not feeling it whatsoever. She was like, wait, skirt, like, say that back for me again. Like, you said 80-20. Like, this is the second time that the commission split has changed. Why is that? So, baby, of course, Miss Sharelle is being super dismissive of Rena's concerns. And she's like, look, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit up here and explain myself to you. If you want to talk about the commission split yet again, then we can do that privately. But it is what it is. Take it or leave it. Rena has an issue because she's like, I'm making all this money for this brokerage, but you want to change the commission split. And not only that, but you want to exclude me from the promo. Like, how does that work? And I feel, Rena, I would have felt the same way, because how dare you want more of my money, but you don't even want to include me in the promo? Absolutely not. I just said, this sounds like a hot mess, and I would have tore Sharelle up. And Sharelle, you're not a great leader, because a great leader can listen to some critiques and they can hear some feedback. You were so dismissive of Rena. I was like, Rena was bringing up some very valid points and you just waved her away like, okay, if you don't want to be here, then go. Like, I don't like that. So now we move on to a short scene with Sharelle and Karla, and they're going to work out with Sharelle's trainer. So Sharelle says that she really likes Karla a lot, but Karla has not been producing, and she's really fallen off. So now we see Karla say in her confessional that she's been going through it with the pandemic going on. She lost a lot of clients, which caused her to lose a lot of money and not sell a lot of houses. Then we find out that she battled depression, and she also went through a very bad breakup, which contributed to that. So now Karla says that she's going to get it back together, and she's going to be on her A game, and she's going to produce. So we see Sharelle and Karla finish their workout, and then they start talking. Sharelle says that she wants Karla to maybe seek out some help because she too dealt with depression and she knows what it feels like. Then she goes on to say how, despite the fact that Karla has fallen off, she still believes in her, and because she still believes in her, she wants to invite her on this deal with a big developer in Tampa named Arturo. So Karla says that she's super excited, and she thanks Sharelle for believing in her, and she promises that she's going to produce. I was a bit surprised that Sharelle would put Karla on a major deal when Karla is out here not really selling any houses. She's having some troubles. I would think that Sharelle would have one of her top producers on this deal. But I hope that Karla is able to turn things around for her sake, because Sharelle seems like she'll drop you at the drop of a dime if things get to be too bad. But we shall see how Miss Karla does with this deal, and if she's able to make some money and be back on her A game. Now we jump on over to the next scene with Rena and her husband, and they're having a cute little date night, and Rena discusses her frustrations with working for Sharelle. She feels like she's not being heard, she's not being respected, and she feels like she's on the outside looking in, and she's just not liking it. Rena says in her confessional that her and Sharelle's friendship suffered a bit because Rena and her husband are still close with Sharelle's ex-husband. So that kind of made things a bit awkward and tense. Now we find out that Rena is starting to get referrals on her own, and on top of that, Mama went out and got her broker's license. So because of that, she can now open her own brokerage. Rena goes on to say that nobody at Allure Realty, including Sharelle, knows that she went out and got her broker's license. And I saw some people on Twitter say that Rena was kind of sneaky for that, and I don't agree. I think that Rena did the right thing, and I would have done the same thing too. I'm a big believer, call it superstition, call whatever you want, but I am a huge believer in moving in silence. I do not believe in talking about my plans before they have already happened. Rena did the right thing. I was here for all of it. In this life, you have to make sure that you put yourself first at all times. If the shoe were on the other foot, Sharelle would have done the same thing to Rena. I feel like all's fair when it comes to business. Rena doesn't feel respected. Sharelle has an attitude, well, if you don't like it, then just go. And Rena has put herself in a position for success. I like how professional Rena is. She has her law degree as an added bonus. Like, Mama is the total package. Again, Rena did the right thing. So now we move on to the next scene with Sharelle, Karla, Juawana, and they are all meeting up with Arturo. Now remember how Arturo is the big time developer in Tampa, and he is building all these gorgeous houses starting at $3.2 million. So Karla is super excited. She's promising Sharelle that she's not going to let her down. And Sharelle's like, well, you better not. Like, girl, you will sell these houses. Again, I think it's kind of bizarre that Sharelle would give this kind of deal to Karla and not some of the other agents who are really killing it. But again, we shall see how Karla does. Now we pivot over to Juawana. She's out grabbing some lunch and a nice glass of wine, and she FaceTimes her mother. Baby, we find out that Juawana is in the midst of a divorce, and her husband have been separated and not living together for 6 months. Juawana is still keeping up this front of being a married woman because she feels like being a divorcee symbolizes that she doesn't have her stuff together, and she doesn't want the other women judging her or looking at her like she's a failure. She continues by saying that she has an image to uphold, and that's why she's not telling any of the women about what's going on. Now, while that's her prerogative, it's her business, she's the one dealing with this, I do think that she's being a tad bit dramatic, saying that she has an image to uphold and a divorce symbolizes that she doesn't have her stuff together. I don't agree. I feel like millions of people get divorced every single day. Okay, like you are not the first and you will not be the last, sis. So I think that Juana's putting this unnecessary pressure on herself to appear perfect. Nobody's going to judge you because you got a divorce. So I don't know why she feels that way. Like I said in the episode 1 recap, I think that Juana is a bit too uptight and rigid, and her saying that she has an image to uphold in regards to pretending like she's still married. I'm like, girl, who are you in the grand scheme of things? Like, I promise you, nobody's gonna be thinking about you that hard for you to be so worried about going through a divorce. I'm just saying, I think that Juana takes herself a bit too seriously, and she's low-key annoying. No, it's not low-key annoying, it's high-key annoying. But again, I digress. So now we move on to one of the last scenes of the episode, and we see all the women getting together for some drinks. So everybody's asking, like, why are we here? Do y'all know what Sharelle wants to talk to us about? And Rena jokes around that Sharelle probably is going to announce another commission split. So it's all the ladies except for Sharelle, Juawana, and Karla. We see the three of them on this little boat and they're popping some champagne. So I was kind of like, I mean, that was kind of unnecessary to do that. Like, you couldn't pop some champagne with all the ladies. Like, I don't know. I just thought that they were doing a bit too much. I don't know. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But again, like I said, I feel like Sharelle is not a great leader at all. I think that she's very petty and very dismissive. So anyhow, all the ladies can see Sharelle, Juana, and Karla on this small boat. And they're all like, what is going on? Like, why is Karla with Sharelle and Juana? Like, why are they popping champagne? Why are we sitting here at this table watching them? Like, what is the deal? And I was really screaming because Tennille was sitting there like, I don't understand why they have Karla on that boat popping champagne. Like, she's not even producing. I said, let me tell you something. Tennille is not the one or the two. Like, she is not here for the BS whatsoever. And I will keep saying it. She looks just like Marlo Hampton. Oh my gosh. They could literally be sisters. And wait a second. One of y'all reminded me that Marlo is from Tampa. So wouldn't that be funny if Marlo and Tennille are actually related? Like, I would not be surprised if they're cousins because they look just alike. So Sharelle, Karla, and Juana finally get off the boat and they greet the other ladies at the table. So they're like, hey y'all, we are here to celebrate because we just signed an exclusive deal with Arturo, the developer, and we have full access to sell all of his homes. And all his homes are selling for $3.2 million. So y'all are in luck. So everybody's super excited. And then Sharelle reveals that she brought Karla in on the deal as well. So now Rena jumps in and she brings up the commission split yet again because it's just not sitting right with her. She goes on to say that she thinks that other agents have an issue with the commission split as well. So of course Sharelle is super dismissive, super rude, and she says, look, if you don't like it, you can leave. Like, I'm not holding a gun to anybody's head. So now Tennille comes to Rena's defense and she says, Sharelle, people should have the right to ask questions. Like, that should not be an issue. And once again, I agree. Sharelle is a piss poor leader, and I don't think it's right that she has that very nasty and negative attitude like, look, if you don't like it, then leave. That's not how you conduct business. You need to be able to have a grown-up discussion when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to money. She's acting like she's a toddler, just, I don't want to hear it, just like get out my face. Like, who does that? I can't stand people who can't hear a different opinion from theirs. Like, I just don't understand why you can't have a mature conversation about the commission split. I think that anybody would be upset if the split kept changing. I feel like when you're up against another cast like Selling Sunset, where everybody is killing it, despite the petty drama that they have going on, those women are laced in Gucci and gold. Everybody's driving Lamborghinis, Ferraris. They're making 7-figure commission checks. Like, everybody is getting it. And we don't see any mess about money or commission splits. So I feel like for Selling Tampa, everybody, especially Sharelle, needs to be on their A game. We don't see all this stupid squabbling about money on Selling Sunset. I don't want to see it on Selling Tampa. I want to see Black women doing the damn thing, and everybody can have grown-up conversations. And I already told you guys in the first recap that I'm going to be comparing both franchises. I just really don't like the way Sharelle conducts herself and the way she conducts business. So Sharelle and Rena keep going back and forth. Rena keeps expressing her concerns about the commission split, and then Sharelle just ends the conversation by saying, "Don't tell me how to run my business. It is what it is, and it's not changing." So now Sharelle and Juawana leave the table, and they go off to the bar to talk amongst themselves. So now everybody's just sitting at the table like, really? Is this what we're doing? And you could tell that Rena is just really pissed off. So I had said in last week's recap that I think that Juawana does seem to be a very good friend to Sharelle. One of y'all said, yeah, but she's also a kiss ass. And let me just tell you that I agree. And it was super evident when she ran to that bar with Sharelle. I just don't like how Juawana acts like a willing flunky to Sharelle. I think that a good friend and somebody who is supposed to be like right under you in the business should be able to call you out and say, hey, Sharelle, I think that we should give these ladies a listen when it comes to the concerns that they have about the commission split. For you to just jet off to the bar with Sharelle and have one-on-one girl talk after this heated discussion with Rena, like, that wasn't cool. So Juawana and Sharelle are ordering drinks and they're having a cute little kiki. And Juawana finally breaks the news that she and her husband are getting a divorce, and they've actually been separated for over 6 months. So Sharelle is in shock. She can't believe it. She loved Juawana and her husband together, and she starts crying. She says, Juawana, if you need anything, let me know. If you need to take a few days off, like, I got you. Like, I'm just so sorry that you're going through this. Then Sharelle goes on to ask if Juawana has told the other ladies, and she's like, no, it's really not their business. So they do a toast, and of course, the other ladies are still sitting at the table, and they're watching Sharelle and Juawana at the bar, and of course, they think that they're talking about them, because who wouldn't? So the episode ends with Rena just looking visibly upset, and we can already tell that it's going to be more friction between Sharelle and Rena. But let me just say that I am on Rena's side 110%. I think that Sharelle is going about this all wrong. She is very unprofessional. I don't like how dismissive she is. And I'm here for Rena leaving and starting her own thing. Another fantastic episode. Selling Tampa is a really great show. If you're not watching it, check it out on Netflix. You won't be disappointed. Now, if you watch Selling Sunset, it's a bit different because Selling Sunset, I mean, those ladies are really killing it when it comes to selling those houses. Selling Tampa, not so much. It's a lot of drama, a lot of beauty, of course, okay, because Colony is a stunner. But if you came here for the ladies selling houses, you're going to be sorely disappointed. But y'all, Thank you all for watching my recap. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.